Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and today I'm going to be doing a reading to see what the universe has in store for us. What is our destiny? So, yeah, what is our destiny in this earth? And I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to draw from these three decks first, and then I'm going to get into the tarot cards. So, let's just get a little bit of a picture with the oracle first before we dive into tarot. Okay, I think that was it. Ornaments. So it is a remembrance of what once was, and with what will be, a fragile beauty beaming upon thee. Yeah, it's I always mess up reading these because they're sort of worded in a funny they're worded in a poetic way, which is nice, but sometimes it doesn't roll off the tongue quite as fast. But with ornaments, I think of, when you dig out the ornaments at Christmas and you go through them all, you kind of go through, it's almost like a funny life review in a way, because you go through all the past Christmases, if Christmas is something that resonates with you. But that's a tradition that a lot of people have that celebrate Christmas. So with ornaments, I really think of that. I think of tradition as well. Yeah. So we got tradition and ornaments. Let's see what butterflies have to say. There we go. Welcome the new. Okay. Well, we've got the juxtaposition of tradition and welcoming the new. So to me, that says, I'm already getting kind of an idea of what's going on. I get the sense that you're sort of a generational curse breaker, so to speak. Like you're doing something new, something that your family line has never done before. I think you're breaking out of that. Whatever has been happening for generations in your family, or even just within your own family in this lifetime, you're breaking away from that. You're doing something different. Yeah. You're embracing it. You're trying to get out of the family curses, the family limits, so to speak. Oh, that was it. The answers you need are coming. Okay, so it's not clear to you yet what it is that you are doing that's so different. I think you're kind of hard on yourself, actually. You're not giving yourself the due credit, because you think that, well, I'm not very successful, and I'm not like my family members or my siblings, my parents. Why am I like this? Am I going to be okay? But the thing is, you're actually doing better than everybody else, because you're going against the grain. You're choosing the path less traveled. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially when, you're surrounded by people that tell you how life is supposed to be. And you are recognizing that that's not the case. And that takes a lot. It takes more than we realize to do that, to break out of the mold. And Gemini is all about communication, right? And it's in the full moon. So you're going to get a communication, I suspect, that it's going to be like a confirmation that, oh, this was all worth it. This was the right path. You just haven't got there yet. And that's why maybe you're doubting yourself a bit. And also today, I want to mention before I forget, I brought in this nice piece of, it's a really old crystal of mine. So I kind of forget what it was, but I believe it's auralite. It's polished auralite, and I remember I was drawn to it because it kind of makes me think of like a gumdrop or something like that. It's just got a nice shape, but it's also got it has like a glow from within. Do you see that? The gold glow. When you turn it, it illuminates so nicely. It's just glowing from within. Like there's something inside there that's just, yeah, it's beautiful. It's good for meditation. Actually, the lady that I bought it from, I distinctly remember she told me that it was a good stone to meditate with. So it helps you focus. So maybe that's something that would help you get through this time of questioning, I think, because I think you're kind of doubting yourself a little bit. Having some questioning thoughts about, is this the right path? Am I doing the right thing? But actually, you are. I think you just have to welcome it, right? I think you got to embrace who you are. It's not clear yet to you that this is the success you wanted, but I think that's kind of how life works. It's like you got to have the trust and the faith to walk the path first, and then you'll get to the destination at the end, but you got to have the faith first, right? Faith is just belief in the unknown, in a way, belief that something's looking out for us, and that, and also self-belief, like belief in ourself. Have faith in yourself, and things will work out. Whoa. That was so violent. These cards have been really jumpy lately. But you know what? The cards make sense. So I guess, right. Maybe I just got a guy with me that's just very smack, a little bit forceful. 2 of this, huh? You're navigating the changes. But, with this card, it's to do with finance as well, because it's 2 of discs, right? 2 pentacles, money. Usually you're balancing financial flux. But with this card, I really think of spiritually, you're balancing yourself with the material. You're balancing the spiritual with the material, because you got this Kundalini here in the rainbow snake that's in the 8. And you got these yin and yang. So it's very symbolic for self-balance, self-actualization. I think that's part of what it is that you are balancing, you're doing spiritual work that no one has ever done before in your family, or maybe they have long ago, but no one has done it recently in your family. And that's part of the problem, is that your family's too entrenched in the material world. They got kind of lost on their way on the genetic line. But you're bringing it back. Like you have that ability in your family to tap into the divine, and you're the one that's kind of reaching out to that. You're the one that's doing it. And here we got victory, right? 6 of Wands. That's being a leader. That's being someone in the community that shows others the way. And that could even be your family around you in the future, because you show them a better way by the path you take, and it's not one that they would take. So you actually lead them on the path that they should be on. And I think maybe you've always been kind of put to shame, like you've always felt like the underdog in your family, but actually, I'm not sure why I'm getting family, because this could be community or friends as well, but family's what's coming out to me. So maybe because we got traditions here with ornaments. Yeah, let's get some more tarot cards, see what's going on here. Please just bring them out gently, is all I ask. There we go. 3 of Cups. Yeah. I think you're going to find the right people, and it's going to be soon. I think soon you're going to find the right kinds of people that resonate with you, and they're going to kind of be like an outward confirmation that, oh, this was the right choice. Yeah, it works. 3 discs in this deck, but 3 of Pentacles works. This is all about coming together with other people to work on projects, work to create things. Like you got, I think it's Thoth and a couple other Egyptians here working on the pyramids, right? Mars and Capricorn. Oh, and here we got Mercury and Cancer, right? And Mercury is tied to Gemini, and Cancer is tied to family. So you're going to find your real family. And not to say that your family isn't related to, it's just that they don't understand you. They're not in your same vibration, but you're going to meet the right people that vibe high with you. And that's going to make all the difference. You're going to realize, yeah, you're going to ascend. Oh my gosh, because this is like the 6 of Wands in a way. It's in this deck, I find it is, because usually 6 of Swords is you know, a family in a boat and they're sailing away from something. But in this deck, it's called Ascension. It's a bit more positive than like looking sad on a boat, right? But to me, it's very similar to Six of Wands, right? You're ascending into a new way of being. You're becoming your highest self. And this could actually, since we talked about Kundalini there, this could be on the spiritual side of things. Oh, and there's another card. The Hanged Man. Oh my god, and there's the Rainbow Serpent. Again, with a rainbow. And an Ankh. Tying back to Egypt here. This is very interesting. Because I think the only block here is that you need to give into it. You need to surrender to that's happening. I think you maybe pull back because of tradition, because you feel like you need to hold on to things. You don't want to give up on family, and maybe you kind of have to achieve this. You got to let them go, whether that's mentally or maybe physically with moving. Yeah, because a lot of times we don't want to move far from our families, but sometimes we have to meet our destiny, right? That's what this reading is our destiny. And it's your destiny to work with others that are like-minded, and I think to bring, you know, a higher spirituality to this earth. And, you know, you can do that in different ways. It doesn't have to be like a group of people, you know, that are all doing, I don't know, like a grid work or energy work. It could also be just, you know, working with a group on a project that's going to deliver a message to mankind that's really needed. You know, like you could be an animator and you're working with a team of animators and you're creating this great story. Or like you could work with an illustrator making a book. Or maybe you're gonna get with a group of artists in a studio and all share a studio together, and you're gonna, you know, inspire each other to make really great individual works. And it doesn't even have to be artistic. It could be things like maybe you're going to start a company with other people and you're going to have a lot of fun together, just joking and laughing, but you're actually going to be really productive and doing a lot of good for humanity. It could be even like a humanitarian work. It could be like you work in an NGO and you start an NGO because look, you're leading here. So maybe you're going to start it and you're going to get the people, you're going to gather them. Yeah, this is really positive energy. I like this. I think you're going to do really good work, actually. Good work in the world. And I think that's why you're being pulled in this direction, is because, like, you have a mission. You have a purpose here. Something important to bring to the world that only you can bring. And you just got to wait on the confirmation. Maybe connecting in through meditation would help you get a clearer picture. But honestly, we kind of already know inside our hearts what we want, right? And what we want is usually our destiny. And not like things that are attached to, oh, I want to be recognized, I want to be famous, I want this person to like me. It's more things like what lights you up, what brings me joy, what makes me happy, what makes my soul sing every day. That's what it is. Here it is. Sun and Aries, new beginnings. Leap of faith. Yeah, you got to take a leap of faith to make this happen. And dolphins, those really make me think of like just leaping for joy, right? Taking a chance. And Aries is the first zodiac sign. It's the first impulse, the initial drive, right? It's very masculine energy. The divine masculine is what creates it. It's the first impulse. Yeah, you got to jump into this and have faith that it's going to work out for you. Because you're getting all the signs that it is. So, but maybe you're going to get a new sign that's going to really confirm it for you because you kind of need it. You need a little extra, and honestly, that's okay. Like, you know, sometimes it's hard to have faith. You know, we get it beat out of us by life and by other people, but I really think that, you know, something new is coming for you. Something really positive. And you're just going to, you know, just wait a little longer. Keep working at it, but also be open to it, and keep working at it. Like, don't surrender in the wrong way. Like, don't surrender to, what life tells you have to do. Surrender to what your heart wants you to do. That's what the surrender is. And part of surrendering the hangman is also, sometimes we gotta just let life happen, because sometimes it involves letting things unravel, right? Because when we change our life, everything else has to come down. It has to have a tower moment. The tower has to fall for there to be new fertile ground. I just said grand. Maybe I think you got to remind yourself whatever you're going to next is going to be grand. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be way better than that tower. So don't cling to the tower. Don't cling to your old life, because something new is coming that's way, way better. Spring cleaning. Yeah, clean out the old. So funny. My cards are coming out so gently. All I had to do was ask. So they were kind of smacking them out of my hand a lot, and I didn't like it, and I asked for gentler, and now all the cards are coming out very gently. And that's something to remind yourself of. If you need help with something, pray and ask for it. Ask Archangel Michael, ask if you have a certain deity you believe in, ask them. And if you don't believe in anything, it's hard because I used to be like that. I used to kind of be agnostic. But over time, I realized that I did believe in angels. Somehow. I still believe in angels, and those were what I first prayed to. And, they're real to me. And I've seen them do amazing things in my life that I can't really even explain on a YouTube video. So, there might be something along the line at some point that you believed in, and maybe it's a time to call back to that, even ask your higher self, because, I think people who are agnostic or, tend to not believe in anything, they tend to believe in something, like a higher power somewhere. And you can at least believe in yourself. But be careful about praying to, because there are other beings out there that aren't so nice, aren't so good, aren't so helpful, or they're trying to take advantage of our weak moments. So, like, a lot of people address spirit, and I get really anxious about that because spirit is so vague. When people say, spirit, can you do this? That could be any spirit. That could be any being. And I like to be super specific because, I don't know if you ever had these where you live or growing up, but Ouija boards, they address spirit. And there's a lot of creepy things that have happened with Ouija boards. I won't get into my own personal stories, but I'll just say that I do not trust them. And I think, and again, if you read tarot and you say spirit, you don't have to listen to me. Whatever works for you works for you. But I would be very, very careful about that. About addressing something as just spirit, because that could be any old spirit that comes in, and maybe not a nice one. So I cling to ascended masters, like Jesus, Mary Magdalene, Buddha. You could talk to Buddha, or there's Kuan Yin. There's I don't know many ascended masters, to be honest, but those are the ones that I would trust first, but mostly I trust angels, and you could say God, but be careful about Lord, right? Because I think Lord can be taken, a certain being that isn't so nice, whose name begins with S, can take Lord to mean himself. So be careful with that one. I see a lot of people say Lord, especially in church and things like that, and I always get the heebie-jeebies because I'm like, do you know what you're saying? But yeah, so just, I don't know why I'm going off on that tangent, but just please be very careful about that, because you just don't know, right? But you can know if you're just very specific. So I often talk to the archangels, Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, Michael. And there's other ones too. There's Zachiel, there's Raguel, there's what was it, Jophiel. And there's other ones too. So just you know, they can appear to you in funny ways too. And usually it comes at the right time in a certain way. They'll come as like a message to you. Maybe you'll find a video of them or meditation with them, or like there'll be a symbol of them somewhere, and that's them calling out to you. So just be open to that if you need help. But yes, be mindful of who you address. Yeah, that's all I'll leave it at. But anyway, we drew this card a while ago. I kind of left it. Spring cleaning. Yeah, so clearing out your space is very important. I don't know if you like feng shui, but feng shui is very real. You'll be very surprised what can happen when you just clear out a pile of something that's been sitting in your room forever. The energy shifts, it really does. I always feel it when I get rid of something that's been hanging around that I know I need to get rid of. When I clear it out, things always shift in my life. Or if a lot of times, like an easy example, I guess, is when like, you break up with someone, get rid of their stuff, right? You don't have to trash everything, but like anything that reminds you of them and like holds their energy, it's a good idea to get rid of it. Yeah. It's time to clear from the path all that does not serve you. So that's not just objects, that's also mindsets, that's people, that's any roadblocks that are keeping you from this path. So, do some spring cleaning, but also clean out your mind as well. Clean out whatever is still hanging about and holding you as a block. And think about it. This is where the meditation comes in, because often we can't fully meditate at first. We have a lot of cluttered thinking that comes in, but it's good to observe that cluttered thinking because it teaches us about what's hanging around in our head, what's tumbling like laundry in our head over and over again. So if it is a certain block comes up, like I'm never going to do this, or I can't do that because of this, or I can't take this career move because I don't have the money, or I can't leave this person because they'll be really angry and chaotic and I'm afraid. When you confront those thoughts, you have the chance to counter them with thoughts that are, in the opposite range. Like, well, maybe I can handle it if they freak out, or maybe I can handle it if I have a strategy for dealing with this person, or maybe they won't freak out if I say it in the right way, or if they freak out, it'll only be for a certain time, but then it'll be free, right? Just or maybe like the simplest way is like, if I think everything will turn out bad, well, maybe everything will turn out right. That's a simple way to counter your negative thinking, right? It's really just you that's standing in your way. I know there's a lot of, I'm not ignorant. I know there's a lot of little things in life that can get in the way, certain roadblocks. Sometimes we have people depending on us that we don't want to abandon. Kids or siblings or family, elderly parents. Lots of things can feel like they're getting in the way, and we don't want to be ruthless or cruel, but we get to the end of our lives, would they be happy to know that they kept you from your happiness at the end of the road of life? Maybe they would, because maybe they're not a good person. And if they're not a good person, well, what are you sacrificing your life for them for, right? Let's get one last card here to close out. Any last messages about this collective's destiny? Remember, gentle. I want gentle. There we go. Mushroom 31. Oh my god. 31 is a special number to me. But 31 collapses to a 4 as well. And that's it's a very angelic protective number. But mushrooms also grow out of toxicity, right? They grow from, like, they grow to process everything that's toxic in the earth and um, purify it, right? They purify the toxins in the environment. Just like in Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I don't know if you know that movie, but there's a toxic jungle in that movie that everyone's struggling against with these deadly spores, and it's like a huge conflict in the movie. But in the end, they find out it's actually purifying all the polluted soil. Sorry to spoil that movie, but it's an old movie now. Come on, but it's not really a huge spoiler, but you know. Again, it's just that I think you are purifying the earth with your existence, with what you're doing and what you're going to do. Again, you're bringing the light, you're bringing ascension to others as well as yourself. And that is a really important mission. You don't want to let that go. You don't want to just, you know, hide in your house all day or let other people tell you what you can and cannot be. Yeah, and they hide underground too, right? Mushrooms, they hide until they're ready to flourish. So I get the sense that you've been underground for a long time as well. And you've kind of been waiting for your moment to spring forth. Yeah. And the message with this mushroom card is also that you can be wearing yourself thin, working for others or for things that don't matter, when really you need to do what's important for you. Get it under control. Yeah. And also it talks about workload, like get a helping hand for your workload as well, because you're burning the candles at both ends as well. Candles here. So, you know, that could be to do with your family teaching. Maybe they taught you to push as hard as possible and to not allow yourself joy. Not like explicitly, but they kind of did by, you know, the pressures they put on you. And that kind of screwed you up for how you approached life for a long time. That's why you've been underground, because you've been pushing yourself so hard you didn't feel like you could pursue what was really important to you, which is crazy because that's all that matters, right? Yeah, sprinkling on your thoughts as well and your mindset. Clear out that junk. Because you actually need a different mindset. You need the mindset that other people can help you and make the journey joyful and fun, because you know, I think you need it. I think you need that to keep going in life, because I think you're burning out doing what you want to, doing the thing that you don't want to do. Yeah. Because I think honestly, you're going to do something really amazing. And it's going to involve communication as well. Like you're going to communicate higher spiritual, you're going to bring light to the world. I don't know, like it's hard to explain, but like there's so many ways that people bring light frequency into the world by just telling their story or showing a different perspective, a different way of being in the world. And a lot of times it's based off their own experiences. And I think you going through a toxic jungle of, you know, maybe a toxic family, that's going to be an experience that teaches the world something, teaches people, or even just reaches people that have had a similar experience. Like they're gonna need you to resonate with them, to follow their own destinies. Yeah, you're gonna lead people and show people how they can lead by your own story, by your own journey. And you're definitely going to be working on projects together with people, but having fun while you do it. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be what the journey has been before now. You were taught the wrong way to approach life. But you unraveling that is going to help others that have also been lost in that messy tangle of twisted thinking about how you're supposed to live your life. Yeah, it's really going to help people. It's going to cleanse people. You're going to clean up people's minds with, their toxic thinking. And it's funny because it's just started to rain today, and, it's making me think of like a cleanse, like purification. Yeah, purifying the world from its darkness. Yeah. And we are shifting as a society. We really are becoming better. We're becoming more attuned to what the human experience is and what it should be and what it shouldn't, We're reaching a new level. We're reaching a new ascension all together as a collective. And you're going to be part of that. So, take the journey, take the leap, because I think it's going to be worth your while. Big time. All right. Okay, I think that's the end. So if you made it all the way to the end, thank you for sticking with it. I hope this was helpful, and I really hope you take that leap and that journey, because I think you're important, and you're a big piece in the puzzle of life. So make sure you don't leave it behind, right? I'm just noticing here the numbers 3366. So threes might be important to you. Yeah. If you found the video helpful, just leave a like and leave a comment to let me know how it resonated. I like to hear how people, how it resonates in people's individual lives. It's really interesting. So yeah, and keep it up. Just keep up what you're doing, and have faith in yourself. Okay, I'm going to sign out there. Take care, everybody.